Welcome back to Tunis and Sons of Carthage. We're currently at war with Castile. It's been a fun one. Last time we actually beat them back, which I was a little bit surprised over. But we did, and they're currently not in the best of positions. They are negative in terms of prestige, which is kind of interesting. It makes it kind of tempting to just end the war. They do get 1 point a year, but if they don't get anything from anything else, they would end up at 20 years, which means that potentially the alliance might break, especially if I get into a war with them. And apparently here Tangiers has been handed over to Morocco, which is probably why they had that drop in prestige. But it's useful, it's helpful. Castile has been kicked out, and I'm probably just going to keep the war going for a little while longer, as far as I'm concerned, it doesn't actually hurt me in any way. And best case scenario, the Castilians will drop some more troops onto my doorstep that I can then annihilate. The French might decide that Castile is a tasty target and attack, as doubtful as that is, but it is something that I can hope for. We'll just have to see here. So, as you can see, if I get rid of my... They don't like me just yet, the French. I would really prefer if I could do something with them, but unfortunately my halvage reaches the council for 13 years, so can't hope for any help there, unfortunately. I'm a little bit unsure how I want to handle this, but I think as for the time being we'll just allow the war to rage. We don't have too much we can do, which is also a little bit annoying, but I think we are going to most likely end up here once we're back in business, declare war on the Mamluks, and hopefully this time I'll have the Ottomans help me without the Castilians butting in. So I'll fabricate my claims, and after that we'll most likely end the war. Surprisingly enough, the Castilians end up dropping a 4,000 man army into my lands, which is kinda hilarious. And I'm also going to take this opportunity to destroy their fleet, because it's fun. And let's face it, beating the Castilian fleet is not something you can brag about in every game as a African nation. But anyways, the Castilians and Neapolitans have actually landed some troops here, and again that is kind of useful for me. It means that I have another way to up my war score a little bit, but it's a little bit and it helps. So as you can see here, we're actually quite powerful in terms of military prowess, and apparently that army got completely destroyed, which is a little bit surprising to say the least, but hey, everything helps. And unfortunately our guy got spotted, but he'll continue his fabrication. And again here, the war gain from these tiny little battles are not much, but it helps. So we'll keep on messing with them, and until the point where I start getting negative repercussions from this, I'll be continuing messing with them. So we'll see how this pans out. It should, and probably will, end up in a pretty hopefully release of Granada here. We'll just wait and see. Surprisingly enough, Naples continues to add their troops to the war effort, which is a little bit surprising, but it's helpful, so I'll not be complaining about that. We'll do an upgrade military attack again here to the Limber. Military attacks by 0.25, infantry fire by 0.10, artillery fire by a whole point. Basically now we can use large cast bronze mortar and the Hoofnies, which I don't think we'll be using for a little while longer still. All in all here, I'm pretty thankful for the fact that I keep on putting troops into the war effort here, because it means that prestige wise I won't be doing too much damage to Castile itself, but I'm actually doing something here weird. Anyways, it's helpful because of the fact that Castile war score is going up. Castile will sooner or later have to agree to my terms, which will then be again releasing Granada. We're pretty far away, let's just be honest, but at some point they'll have to give up, hopefully. So we'll wait and see how this pans out. It could of course turn into horror, but it could also be pretty damn good. So we are ready to declare war here. Unfortunately the Ottomans are not, because we are at war with Castile. So again here, the big point now is, do I want to keep on pressing against Castile, trying to get my point across, or trying to get the goal that I want? Let's face it, I can't land any troops on or in Castile itself due to the fact that it would result in them being murdered at once. So if we consider that there's no real point of me dragging on this war, I should probably just go for humiliating them as much as I can with the peace. If I can go for humiliate, that would be great, but I can't just yet. So I think we'll go with war operations, get a little bit extra money during our our own future wars here. I'm really tempted to also force them to give up their call on Tangiers, but I think I'll keep that. Galician Portuguese alliances will be broken though, and you will give me money. So I think this is the deal that we'll be going for. Reason being that I am really tempted right now to use the Ottomans to my advantage again, attacking the Mamluks when the Ottomans enter the war. And the Mamluk army is actually up in the north, so that makes even more sense to attack them right now. So we'll go ahead here and we'll declare war for, or we'll make peace here. Castile got beaten soundly, which is good, and we'll declare war on the Mamluks here. The goal, of course, will be to harm Morocco firstly, and beating the Mamluks comes secondly, so to speak. The war goal will be to take Benghazi, and we'll take it probably later in the war. The Ottomans will be joining, as you can see. They're currently fighting in another war. Yeah, they're fighting the Golden Horde in Uzbek, who they have actually no way of getting to, so should be perfectly fine. We'll go ahead here, we'll declare war, and hopefully everyone will be happy with that. Now again, I'll destroy Morocco first, because it is important. They do have still a core that I want, and if I can secure the coastline completely, it will be really beneficial for the future. Apparently my kings here die really often, but not much I can do about that. Suleiman the First, 530, crap. 434, that's actually pretty good. I want him. But we'll do these two. They are two pretty good decisions to make. And let's see, how old is my current ruler? 24. This kid is 0. So we need our guy to rule for at least 15 or so years. So we'll make a ruler, we'll make him into general though. He's the crappiest general that I've ever seen. So I guess I was pretty lucky, if you will, with my generals early on. But we'll boost our stability and we'll put him in challenge, because why not? Worst case scenario, I end up with the Regency Council of a lifetime. But that gives me the opportunity, if you will, to completely and utterly destroy the Mamluks, which again will be really useful for, well, growing my own power, if you will. So hopefully here, this war will not drag out too far. If I can destroy the Mamluks early on, if I can destroy the Moroccans early on, that would be great. But I don't know, we'll have to see here. I will definitely be relying a lot on the Ottomans during this war. So I'll just go ahead here, start the sieges on Moroccan land, and hopefully we'll end this rather rapidly. We'll see how it pans out. It seems that 1.9 has broken the Peasants' Wall. No, it hasn't actually broken the Peasants' Wall. It's basically that Denmark, the ruler of the two unions, got a Peasants' War, and a result of that apparently is that the Peasants' Wars will end up in Norway, Sweden as well, or potentially it could be independence wars of some description, who knows, which would be hilarious if Castile gets them as well. But at the current stage here, the unions will break, I think. I'm pretty sure. Union ends. Union ends. So currently here we're at a pretty good position here. I just need the Castilian ruler to die horribly. I really wish I was playing Crusader Kings right now, because then I could just assassinate with all my gold, but I'm not, unfortunately. Anyways, as you can see here, Ottomans are doing pretty well. They are definitely defeating the Mamluks on this end, problem being that the Mamluks might actually decide to attack me, which would be bad. Another imperial reform has been enacted, the second one. I'm really looking forward to the war within the empire. Could be interesting to see how that pans out. But the Ottomans are doing a really good job here. They're doing a job that's good enough to me being afraid of them, well, ending the war early, potentially, which is kind of bad, let's just be honest. But as you can see, sieging in Moroccan lands is going pretty good. And hopefully here we can get the Moroccan province that we're after, and also of course the coastline up to Alexandria, for instance here. That would also be really helpful. I think I'm also going to focus on getting Toqut here next pretty soon. They're not supplying too much or too many soldiers. They are not being too much of a help in the scenario. They don't have too high base tax either, so it's basically just to make my country look nicer that I will be annexing them. But I'll continue the sieges of the area, and hopefully we'll be done soon. Well, as I was saying, it seems like the Ottomans are really just cruising this end. They'll probably be able to make a pretty strong peace themselves, because apparently here they are getting the sieges or the provinces for themselves. So they'll probably make a pretty, as I said, a strong peace, which could be beneficial for us, provided that they do not turn us into rivals. But we are doing pretty well. Morocco has been completely defeated. Peace-wise, I'm a little bit unsure what I want to do here, but I think this is what I'll be going for. I'll probably hand Tadla over to Tafilalt, and Fez are going to get these two. And it's a pretty good peace offer, so to speak. It's not something that will be. It's not horribly wrong, and I get 4 provinces off Moroccan hands. So we're going to go with this, but we're going to of course wait due to the fact that we'll suffer overextension, and I have no desire to incite any rebels for no good reason. So that is the reason why we're going to wait before we do anything with Morocco and peace deal. But as you can see here, the Ottomans are really bringing it to the Mamluks, so we need to siege before the Ottomans end up in a scenario where they will not be willing to, or where they will be piecing out too early for us to take advantage of this. So as I said, sieging will take priority. I'll be moving my troops into Darna and Bardia, and hopefully I'll be able to keep them there. We'll have to see though. And apparently here the Mamluk army has been defeated once, so I think this could be a safe way of doing things. We'll just have to wait and see. If we can destroy that 1,000 man army, that will of course be useful. And if the Ottomans completely annihilate their army here, then we'll definitely go for some more stronger sieges. There we go, they actually did annihilate their entire army. So we'll keep these 2 armies there. We'll go for sieging what we can, of course. And hopefully here I will not be getting into trouble for my choices. But we'll wait and see. We have had a pretty strong reign so far. So I'll set up the sieging squads, and hopefully I'll get what I'm after. Ottomans might just have actually done something really stupid, and why I'm saying that is because you can see this here. They are currently on Crimea's side and attacking, well, Genoa, which is kind of surprising. Castile, on the other hand, is also doing something silly. They're attacking Ferrara and Genoa, and well, it's kind of weird considering that the fact that it's just Ferrara and Genoa and not Austria. But the reason why Austria is not in this is probably due to the fact that they have already started messing around with the Ottomans. And this is bad for us because it means that the Ottomans will most likely peace out pretty soon against the Mamluks, which is not even remotely helpful for us. Other things that are negative in this aspect is the fact that Castile will be getting some positive prestige from this war here, which is again not good at all, and hopefully something that we can counter slowly but surely. And other than that, I'm a little bit unsure how I want to actually say that the situation actually is. If Castile managed to get positive prestige, that's bad, and also the fact that, well, it would be better if they didn't, but there's not too much we can do about that right now. We could of course go for a war, but I don't feel that is kind of what I want to do at the current as the situation currently is, because of the fact that, well, I'm doing well for myself in terms of just sieging the Mamluk provinces, and of course we have the truce to consider as well. Poland has ended their peasants' war, which is kind of good for Poland, I guess. I'm a little bit unsure what I want to do with this army for now. I mean, we'll just let it stay where it is, or we'll move down to Minya, and then we'll move to Azut to help out here, because we don't want to have this army die. Yeah, I need to just pocket this army back and forth until I can pull off what I want here. Anyways, hopefully I will not lose any of the armies, and we'll just keep on going what it is. If the Ottomans peace out, I'll get back to you. Other than that, I just think we'll just continue as is. Tlemcen nationalist is not good, but we'll have to see what we actually end up with. For the time being, we'll just wait. Well, this is a little bit interesting. We get this thing, which is unjustified demands by 20%, and we also get a decrease in the cost for well, aggressive expansion and everything. I think what we're actually going to do now is siege. We do not want you to attack our army. Please do not attack our army. But we're going to siege this province here, and then we're going to make peace, I think. I think we're in a good position then, especially with the Ottoman provinces at our disposal too. Provided, of course, that they do not peace out now rapidly right before I'm planning to do my big break, so to speak. Hopefully, though, this province will fall soon, which... it's been as 42% forever. So, it's kind of bad. Apparently our siege ability is pretty low, if everything, well, if we consider everything. But yeah, this is kind of being ridiculous at this stage. The defenders are asserting there's not too many of them left. We're just going to assault, see how that pans out. Worked out perfectly. So, first order of business, peace with Morocco. We already have the deal, we just need to ship it along with some golden coins. There we go. Moroccan peace has been signed. Second piece, Mamluks. We are going to go with a lot of provinces going into my hands. A lot. Yeah, we're going with this. I think all this. No, we're going with that. So basically this will give me a ton of land, which will in turn hopefully mean that I will get a lot of things in the future. The only one that's really likely to join the coalition against me is Mamluks, so I'm perfectly fine with this piece. It's going to help me immensely in terms of power protection in 10 or 20 years. My power protection, I mean forces, troops, money. You get the basic idea. The only main problem right now, of course, is the fact that I'm over my force, or I went high on overextension. So what I'm going to do here is first order of business, of course, is start the coring process of the newly conquered territories, which I think I have enough admin points to. I actually saved it up for said purpose, and I think we're also going to have to go with a. Oh, it's actually outside of range. Interesting. We're going to have to increase the autonomy in all of these, because if not, I'm going to get rebels really rapidly, and I don't want to have rebels really rapidly because it's going to be a pain in the butt no matter how we look at it. So we're going to increase the autonomy. It's just how things are going to be. We're also going to reduce our war exhaustion, because that will again reduce the unrest by quite a significant amount. And now we're just going to wait for these provinces to core. In the meantime, I think I'm going to go and deal with the nationalists here, so I don't have to fight another war, which of course is going to be, well, important, because I don't want to fight another war. So we're going to first and foremost see if Tafilalt is interested in taking this one off our hands. We'll just sell it as is. I have enough money at current stage. And we'll also go ahead here and sell Tangiers to these guys. Now the funny thing here is, since Tangiers will be owned by Fez, it's kind of likely that Castile might actually opt for attacking me again, which would be hilarious. But all in all now, my overextension should be right beneath the limit here, which is kind of what I was focusing on. And we're going to move the guy in Venice, or in the Venetian node, to this one. I think it's going to do a little bit better here. So we'll just check that out. He's doing 1.10 in Venice, and he'll probably do a little bit better here, I would at least presume. We're going to maintain that diplomat. We're going to start the annexation of Togut. I'm going to keep these two around, as you know, so I'm not going to do anything there. But I'm going to annex Togut because the simple fact is that it will make my name bigger. But yeah, this has basically been this episode. We made a lot of progress. Northern Africa is almost completely ours. We'll of course have to fight Portugal for that, right? But let's face it, Portugal should be a far easier target to beat than, well, they're allied with England. But England isn't really they're not a superpower, not just yet. They can of course land some troops, they can be obnoxious, but all in all, I don't expect them to arrive. And what I mean by that is that best case scenario here is that I fight Portugal, I get Algarve and Alentejo, and boom, I suddenly have that place that I need to be in southern Spain. And of course, hopefully the unions will break by then, because then I will definitely be able to beat Castile. So for the time being, we'll just sit by and wait. But as I said, we're going to end it here. Thank you for watching. Please leave a comment, praise, criticism, anything you feel like, and I'll see you around next time. Bye.